Okay, so my name is Lisa Posey, and this is
Boyd Moran.
right. Good. Good answer.
I'm done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
As I'm listening to your conversation, some of you sound already way more technologically advanced than we are. This whole WeVideo thing came about as kind of a happy accident for us with a project that we assigned to our seniors, and then I had kind of an idea that I wanted them to do it with, and I talked to Willie and Jackie, and they said, hey, there's an app on the Chromebook that will allow the kids to use this and go ahead and put it together. And so that's kind of where it came about. So I'm going to start by showing you just an example from one of our students who at the end product, this is what they turned in, and kind of a little background to this. We had just finished teaching Canterbury Tales with our seniors. And we had just read the prologue to the Canterbury Tales where it introduces 29 different characters to them. And so after we had finished that, we told them that they could choose one of those and create a modern day equivalent of that person from the Middle Ages. What would that person look like today? Their personality, all of those kinds of things. And then once they did that, we taught them how to use the WeVideo app and put it all together. So this is kind of an example. Another thing we had them do though was we wanted them to write a narrative, this person's background story. How did they get to be where they are today? And then we had them voice that over and tell that story as we're looking at the visuals. So that's kind of where this came from. This student chose the merchant, and so hopefully this is going to work. Excuse me. Just what's on here. On the right. It's okay. It's okay.
He had weak morals and made a lot of bad decisions. He was good at convincing people and leads everyone to believe he is wealthy and good at selling. In reality, he ignores his debt. He's a liar, a bad salesman, and hates his wife. Before he was born, his dad died. At a young age, he was always interested in mustard. He liked to test what he could get away with and play jokes on his friends. He would always act tough and at the top, but he was weak emotionally and could get his feelings hurt easily. When he got into middle school, his friends started to bully him, and he didn't take it too well. He had low self-esteem and didn't feel like he fitted in with society. As he was a teen, he started stealing money from his mother to buy clothes for himself to try and fit in. His image did improve because of social status, and he became very popular and known as wealthy. His mother never found out though because he was very good at hiding things. He also skipped school and eventually dropped out. No one would hire him for a job, so he decided he would make money himself by using his skills. He became obsessed with money, and as soon as he earned some, he had to spend it on something that would make him even wealthier. He would steal clothes or sell the ones he owned for an overpriced amount, but was so convincing it always sold. When he was a young adult, he spotted a wealthy woman out shopping and thought he could probably get a lot of money out of her. His plan worked, and he found out the woman was super rich. They lied about him and his life together to eventually marry him. After marriage, she quickly found out the truth and became cruel and controlling him. She threatened that if he ever divorced her, she would ruin his public image and tell everyone his milky secrets. He regrets ever making the decision and can't get away from her. In present time, he is now living a miserable life selling clothes and accessories for money. He has to spend all his money on his social status right away and saves none for paying bills or other needs. He has a massive debt and keeps finding ways to keep it hidden.
The volume on that was kind of muffled, but you get the idea. So we'll go ahead and move on to the steps and what we had the kids do. Really what this does is going to provide not only you an opportunity as a teacher for presenting material to them, new material to them, or if they're doing some kind of project for you, to put it together in kind of a seamless movie variation. If you've ever used iMovie or you've used Movie Maker, The format for WeVideo is very similar to those. Gives you a more seamless presentation than a PowerPoint or Google Slides or any of that stuff. So basically what we did was, and what I did for you on the top is, for this particular student project, or for any project that you would have them do, one of the very first things that you would have them do is go ahead and find their images, and I'm just going to go through this with you. Hey, yeah.
I have to go to theater practice at 1:10 to start that. I see.
Okay. There are some how-to do it steps on the back. Handouts. Okay. I'm going to tell you that the best way to learn how to do this is just to do it and to practice with it. So, but it's also easier for me if I have steps. So when I was coming up with this, because we did this the third 6 weeks. So I slept since then. And if it's any other kind of technology, if you don't use it every day, you kind of forget how to use it. So for me, I went back through, made one so that I could get you the steps of exactly what to do. And it's detail for detail, step by step. So if you're going to have the students put together a presentation for you, I would definitely start at the top where it tells them, have the students create a new folder in the Google Drive. This is exactly what we did. Okay, so before we ever taught them how to do WeVideo, I said, okay, gave them the project assignment, and I said, step 1, you've got to find your images to tell the story of a person. And so they went to their Google Drive, they went to the red box on the left, created a new folder that said WeVideo pics or images or whatever, and then they began to find images that they wanted to include. This is very important, and that's why I put it in bold, all caps. They have to put those images in that folder singularly. They cannot create a document and then take the images and paste them on the document and then expect to upload them to their WeVideo. It does not work that way. They have to be put in there singularly, okay? And so that's what we did. And I don't know, you tell me, if you want to actually go through the process, we can. It's up to you. If you have a Chromebook, why don't we do that? If you have a Chromebook, then you can open it up.
The reason, and this is what we found out in my classroom, I don't think she had that problem because I'm stupid, and I didn't tell my kids that that had to be JPEG. I don't know what that means, but I know it's spelled JPEG, and it has to be in that format. I think that's what she's saying by putting it into every single. Some of my kids had to go back and refine their pictures, and they weren't happy about that.
So if you, so before we taught them WeVideo, we had them collect their images, put them in a new folder in their Google Drive. Then, because we were doing a voiceover, we had them go ahead and write out their narrative. Okay, tell us your story so that you'll have that, because they had to read that and record themselves over their images. Okay, and then once they had done that, then we introduced the WeVideo program to them. And so basically, I put the steps there for you. They opened up their Chromebook, they went to their search tool at the bottom, clicked on it, found the WeVideo app, clicked on that, and it brought them to this screen. On this particular case, for the trial basis, each person will get 5 minutes of airtime, and so as a trial basis. So it was free, it didn't cost them anything. So for example, when my students used this a second time, I said, if you don't have enough room on your trial basis, you're going to have to delete what you did already so you'll get more time. But as Willie said, they're going to buy the license for these secondary students, so that's not going to be a problem, okay, anymore. So once you find that app and you click on it, you should see this screen. Right there. Anybody have any questions? Create New. And you're going to get a screen that looks like this. Up here in this corner is where you would title video. I had them do that at the very beginning because if they then start looking for it, then they've forgotten what it is, and so that just helps them at the very beginning to get that done.
Where are you at, Lisa? We're trying to catch up here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm up in the top left-hand corner. I'm going to title the video, give it a name. Okay, then at this point, we're assuming that we've already gone to the internet. Our kids have found their images that they want to use. They put them in their Google Drive in a separate folder, singularly in there, okay? So then, when it's time to begin to put this together, they're going to go to Upload Media, and you'll end up with this screen, drag and drop files. If you look at the bottom, and it's word for word, click on Upload Media, like the bottom, there are several places they can choose. The far left icon is their Google Drive. They click on that.
Jordan Finley, if you're on campus, please come to the office, or if you're in the teacher's room,
Choose
please
their
call
school
extension
email.
403. Thank you.
Google Drive. Then it will come up with everything that's in there. They should have a folder that's labeled WeVideo, right? Because that's the very first thing we had them do. Select their images, put it in a folder. So on mine,
Oh, that's mine.
hang on.
Next. She's my regular. I forget.
They were talking about during the meeting yesterday. Y'all had already started.
We just tried that.
Okay. So once they find that folder, that WeVideo folder, and they open it up, as I've done, I've already collected some images. I'm going too fast, please yell at me, because I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Show up. So once they open that up, they found their images, and then they begin to upload them.
Themes at the top right left corner.
Oh, he's waiting for your, I mean, my password.
Just go ahead and go with the free one. Oh, there's music to the themes?
Yes.
That's great. I don't mind having that. Check it out.
Is that it? I want an icy glass.
I use the same one. Are all the themes the same? Or I mean, is the music the same in all of them? No. We just make it like I'm sorry. Yes.
WeVideo video or Google Plus.
Share, I like to use this.
Okay. So, ideally, they found them, they're in their Google Drive, they go to Upload Media, they go to that Google icon and Drive, and then they select and upload each one of their images. Okay, and it's gonna, just like it on the list here, the images will collect in the top box, just like mine have collected up here. And then they'll be able to place them in their video where they choose. They do that by just dragging them. Now notice on your information sheet there too, when you drag your images, they need to be placed in the main section. Okay, that's where your images need to go. So if you clicked on an image or you pressed on an image, then you can drag that and drop it in the main section.
You put the video of us blowing the lights bulb up.
Drop one of them right now.
Oh. Your title, find whatever. That's
Once they drag them to that main section, then you can determine the length that you want that image to stay up there before it switches to the next one. All of that's determined by the green bar here. So like if I click on this first image that's already in the main, and then I decide I want that image to last longer, it gives me this little arrow right here, and I can drag, I can drag that image out, let go of it, and so now that's going to, that image will be shown longer, or you can shorten it, however you want to do it, depending on how long you've told them. Okay, your project can only be 1 minute and 30 seconds, so make sure that your images are on there such that you can get that in there. Sometimes, especially for ours, when they had the narration, they were going to have to make sure that as they're reading their story that the correct images are showing up, so they had to determine the length of each image. And I'll show you how they did that in a minute. Do they have any questions thus far?
It's a little 0 to 5.
Oh, you put the right.
There you go. Now you're making different pictures, so it's going to look good.
Take that. The little green.
Oh, this is the number of seconds that it was what you're asking me?
Yeah, mine is just blank. I've only added one. So maybe.
Moving on. Then they can choose the placement and duration of each one. At the top, there are icons that will allow them to add background music to the video, which they did by choosing it and dragging it to the first audio. Here's what I mean. Right up here, you've got a little music symbol. I don't know the correct. But if they click on, if you click on that, it's going to give you all kinds of elevator music. It's all instrumental, but it gives them all different kinds. They have fun listening to all different kinds of the music that was available to them. And I just told them, make sure you choose something that's not going to be distracting from your presentation, but something that enhances the presentation. So they can choose their music from there. They can also add text. You can add text to any of your pictures by clicking the text box. So there's all kinds of options up there for them. If they choose music, then they will drag it to the first audio line. Let me move this up so you guys can see. So you can see we have 2 audio lines here. For our students, we had them drag whichever music if they wanted to, and we didn't force them to use background music. We said that's an option if you want to go that route and do it. So the first one I showed you, she did use background music, and she would have chosen it, and then she would drag it to the first audio line.
Can you make it shorter?
Yes. Get it? Yeah. You can imagine what it sounded like in the classroom when everybody's trying this. Anyway, so once they decided They then would move that music to that first audio line by just clicking and dragging.
You gotta go to the three dots, the three lines, I mean, and then timeline view.
Any questions about how they get their music? I had kids who wanted to, and Willie's not in here anymore, but they wanted to download their own music. Like, I think they probably can, but I don't know how to do that. That will be something I'll have to ask Willie, because that's going to take pulling it from an outside source, so I'm not so sure.
Is it in the free version?
Just in the media? If they click in the media?
The first file up there by where the little music symbol is, the first file is media.
Uh-huh.
So they would have to save it to their file.
Right, and then import it from there.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
So that's that. And then, just to kind of lead you through the rest of this, we also had them do their voiceover. So they had to write their own narration and they had to speak it. So when we did that, they're recording their own voice. So they went to the second audio line. We had them add their own voiceover narration, which they did by clicking on the small red microphone next to audio 2. When they click on that, when you click on that, you're going to get a red mic, and then it's going to say preview while recording. You want to do that, because in that upper right-hand corner then, your images are going to go, and so that helped them with their narration to know where they needed to be in their story based on the images that they were being shown. So you'll click the box, preview while recording, and then you're going to want to mute the audio, because otherwise you're going to have that going while you're recording it, and you really want it, I don't know, you don't have to be on, I don't know why you do that. I tried it both ways. It works both ways, except I was distracted when I was saying what I needed to say because I was listening to the music. So when you mute the audio, that doesn't mean that when you play it, it's going to be mute. It just means that as you're recording it, you don't have to listen to the music. So that's what we had to do. Once you've done that, then you're going to click on the green check mark. Then to actually record it, wait a minute. Oh, no, my bad, I'm sorry. Preview while recording. Now, to record something, you're going to click on the red mic that's there in the center of the screen, right here. It's going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then they're going to talk. And as they're talking, their images are going in front of it. Then when they're done, they'll click the mic again to stop it. Then they go to the green arrow. I've done my audio, I'm done with that part. Okay? So, I sound terrible on this, but I'll do it anyway. So it's counting down. And then I'm going to talk about my WeVideo and the pictures of my students that I have on here, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when they're done speaking, they'll stop. But you'll notice that, like, I could tell from the very beginning that my images maybe were on there too long. Okay, I didn't have enough to say. So it kind of gives them an idea. Then they can always clear that out and start over, shorten their images, whatever they need to do. The kids are so smart with technology, much, much smarter than I. So once we just showed them how to get in here, they were good to go. Once you've done that and you've done your audio, you click your arrow. Your check mark, sorry. Mine is still saving.
Are you know them
Stragglers.
yours still saying saving, recording? Mine is just stuck. I just,
I know this is
Yeah, it takes forever. Oh my god, that's something back like that.
Which, like you said, by this time, they need to put all the pictures in. So when you do that, you record it. It's gonna be back when it's done. Once I save it to the server, save it on your timeline.
okay, I'm re-recording this because the first time it did not save, but these are images of my students that I chose to use for this example of this WeVideo. There you go. All right, and now,
Testing.
check mark, saving, recording to start. All right, once it does that, oh, Lily, I do have a question.
It's like picture number 3.
No, I want the song to be sung.
okay, cancel. Never cancel.
Chicken rice is probably on this.
I just did that, you just click on it.
You just click on it and drag it.
it.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. Okay. Now, so once that is done, then according to your steps, it says that once that's done and they're happy with that audio, which it takes them a while, especially if you're having them do a voiceover because they laugh and they mess it up. They will go to the top and they will click finish. They'll give it a title. If they hadn't already done that, it does remind them. I forgot it. So once they've given it a title, then they're going to get these 3 options. Don't ask me what they mean. I don't know. I just know what Willie told me to check. Okay, so that's what I checked. So once they're given these options, they check the 720. Then they go to the destination bar because they want this to go to their Google Drive. Okay? So they're going to go to the destination bar. They're going to click Google. And then if you scroll down, there will be a Finish Video button at the bottom. They'll click Finish Video, and it'll save it for them. And then depending how long it is will depend on how long it takes for it to save. We told the kids, you know, obviously you have to have the internet for this to work. So you need to make sure that if you're doing it at home that you have wireless internet there because we are not sure how long it will take. So plan ahead. There, some did, some didn't. And so, you know, but it wasn't, I mean, it was, sorry. We told you ahead of time.
So
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
have like almost 100% turn your projects in? Or?
Yes. Yes. Everybody turned one in. Yeah. So that doesn't always happen.
I know, that's good.
And sometimes it took, I don't know about her class, in my class, I had people that we told that, well, we had kind of worked the bugs out. Some started at, I think we made it do that Sunday night, right, or Wednesday night, or one of those nights at 11:59.
Because they were uploading it to us through Schoology.
Right.
So
Yeah,
with
they-
Schoology, it's due, you know.
They started,
we let
they
them-
started late, it took forever.
Wow.
So they've got a plan, like, if you're gonna do it Sunday at noon.
Was there an optimal length for school for you to upload it? 5 minutes?
It was for me. It was 5 minutes. I don't know if that had anything to do with Schoology or not, but remember, I thought it was like 5 minutes, it was like over that.
But they can share it on
Yeah, but
Facebook.
we gave them a limit. I mean, I told them it needed to be, you know, 2 to 3 minutes max. And then because I put it in Schoology, then it was easy for presentations because then I could just open up Schoology on my computer, open up that class, and we were watching it.
It was time stamped when they
Yeah.
uploaded it.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway, I don't know how long this is going to take,
When
but
the WeVideo, free WeVideo was
Like 5 minutes.
I wanna say it's 5 minutes for the free version.
Yeah, they get
I had
5
two
minutes.
kids, pay the extra $10 or something, and they did theirs like 10 or 12 minutes. It was a beating, but they did it, it was great.
Y'all explain why it's not so long? Y'all explain that?
What's that?
Y'all explain why it's not, why you don't want it to be
Yes.
so long? Okay.
Yes, that right now, that with just the trial version, they get 5 minutes, is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, why you told them 2 to 3 minutes? As far as, like when so when students are, if you go on YouTube and you watch anything, a short show or anything like that, you wanna keep it.
Well, for audience, I mean, for them to keep their audience engaged.
So we won't get bored.
Yeah,
Because
I don't wanna be
you're
bored.
I watched, I know in my class, we watched as many as we could in that period.
Yes.
So, you know, it was, some were 2 minutes, some were 5 minutes.
Okay, so mine's done. So when it's done, then you can.
Has succeeded.
They can then go to their, and I tell you on here, once it's done, they will find their video in their Google Drive. They can then upload this to Schoology for easy access if they so choose.
To knock these chairs down.
I usually go once, like for something like this, I would go to my recents. It's gonna be right there.
Now, is this just for photographs? Or is
It's
it-
there.
They do video.
It's just processing.
Oh, it is, okay.
That's just its processing. So even when you upload video to school, it has to process it. So that way it'll be able to be played
Okay.
on their site. And even Google Drive.
Well, she just asked, and that was a question that I had too, that I don't know if I ever answered. If they have to use pictures, or can they use video on this? It's really a
The
slow
video,
motion
and then
deal
it's
for a
video.
picture,
They
isn't it?
can use the video, they can import their own video into the
Just a little
video.
bit of time.
Take them the video camera or whatever.
They can do their own music too if they want to.
That's all with the upgraded.
Well, no, I mean, they can import anything. Just the only thing that comes with basic upgrade is longer videos, more storage.
I think it's that first line. Should have been the main, the top one. You can put videos in it.
Is it not in there anymore? I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself.
You just passed it.
Did it?
Down. Good. Got it.
No, I mean, it would be, I didn't have to put it in a folder or anything.
Sort it by when it was modified. And it should be
Why
at the
would it
top
be
and bottom.
Most recent.
in my most recent? Oh, maybe this is it. Hello, I'm lost my mind, sorry.
You're not alone.
Okay, are they recording this? I think the first time they did this say that these are images of my students, they're not chose to do some
Really? I'm gonna lower that volume hello on the audio one in case you can't hear me. Woo. So, beside each little microphone on the audio, it shows the volume. Yeah, I needed to lower that volume so you could hear my voice better. Okay, over it. But ultimately, that's what you get. Any questions? I really think that this was probably, this helped me the most, is when I went back through it. And again, it's like anything else, you just have to play with it. And so, and practice with it. And so when I went back through, I just did it step by step, everything that I had to do. So,
I'm not seeing it.
Say that back.
To my phone.
Do what?
To my.
Drive.
Oh, you have to finish the video first?
I did, but like, I didn't create it.
try it once it's uploaded, that's
Click on
it.
it?
No.
Right up there, so hit
So anyway, anybody have any questions?
upload.
Yes.
Yeah, because once it's uploaded, that's it.
Finish it.
Yes.
Let's see, I can't.
All editing.
What happens if you finish and upload but don't put it in your drive? Is there an opportunity?
They can always go back here to their WeVideo. It's gonna keep it in there until they do something with it.
How do
like,
you get to Google Drive though from like?
You connected them somehow, because I just did that somehow.
You did it on.
Well, see, mine a few
It was
minutes
on
ago, if you go back into it, mine showed up under recent edits, and it was here, I just deleted it.
Well, this one's been finished. It's like a finished video, and it's like saved to WeVideo, but not to Google Drive. Is there an opportunity?
yeah, because when you no, you go ahead. No, you're the professional.
If I signed in with Google, is it just gonna share? Is it gonna save to my Google Drive?
Click on this.
Okay.
I don't.
Let's just go home and see what we got, right?
Can I just go back?
Once the kids are exposed to it the first time, yeah, because they're just,
They picked it up.
yeah.
It's not quicker than
We were the ones like, how do you do
If it
that?
wasn't for those two, him and Jackie, God, it wouldn't have caught.
Today.
So when started on the video?
I just went to Willie and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to have them, because we're connecting the medieval time period with today. So create this modern day character based on one from Canterbury Tales. But I want them to write their life story of this character, and I want to hear them be that character and talk it. And I said, can we do that?
He said it's just going to be video once it finishes processing.
What I want to do.
That's what it is.
It's still processing there, that's all.
It's still processing.
Yeah, so
Mine's in
you
Google
did,
Drive.
you dropped it.
Yeah, I did mine.
So once it's processed,
That's why we can't.
Well, as a visual, I mean, they can do a visual essay on here, they could do, you know, anything, really, any project. It just makes it much more seamless. And they can add text to it too, so if they didn't want to voice over what they were saying, they could put text on it instead. Yeah. So anywho, that's all I got.
Good deal, that was awesome. So WeVideo, anytime you want to use it, you can contact these wonderful people here, or myself, or Ms. Freeholm. Really awesome, really awesome. I know we talked today in VLC about student choice. This would be a great choice to give them to be able to create
Sure,
something.
because it gives them an option.
All right. Lovely.